I don't think I could. Yeah, no.
I think I've heard that one before, actually.
That's fantastic.
Everything back in the box. You were clearly too fucking stupid.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I've wanted to say that to plenty of my customers, but none of the issues have been bad enough for me to do that. That wireless issue was close, but it wouldn't have had the same impact because it was just a guy working on somebody else's stuff. It wouldn't have had the same amount of sting.
He's like, dude, what are you getting angry at me for? I want to go home too. Just tell me how to fix the problem. You're like, oh, yeah, fair cool.
I mean, you know, granted, he was a complete moron too, but I could at least sympathize with him, so that I had that going for me.
It hurts. Please help me.
Yeah, anyone who has to spend 2 hours in a tech support call is a pretty big moron.
Hey.
All the tech support people suck, which is...
Hey!
Oh, don't worry, at uni, I'd have to get tech support down all the time, and I'd be like, okay, this is the problem, and they'd be like, oh, cool. And I'm like, so how do we fix it? I don't know. Great.
I'm not that level of inept. If it's something above my level of expertise, I won't waste your time. I will send you to somebody who does know what they're talking about.
Yep. Assuming that person exists, which not always.
Well, luckily for me, our tier 2 agents actually were very competent. So, granted, I couldn't understand half of them, but
one of our technicians would just refer you to Google if he didn't know.
Oh wow! Yeah, see. We had databases for, you know, fixing stuff, so there actually were some things that I could fix that were
pretty good advice. I mean, that's what I do when I try to tech support my own stuff or someone else's stuff.
Like, he would genuinely try to do anything he could, but if he didn't know what to do, he would just say, Google it.
That's my usual answer is I will Google that shit. If I don't know what I'm doing, I Google it.
Yeah.
Well, that's the thing. Like specifically, what my job was, I was troubleshooting people's actual physical connections, and you know, from our end, you know, to make sure that things were working properly. So I couldn't actually do that. You know, I actually had to put some work into what I was doing. But yeah, it was the kind of thing where, I mean, yeah, sure, I used my Google flu when, you know, I needed to. Because there was some stuff that was simple enough where I was like, I don't know how to fix this, but this does sound like something I can fix. And we did have a company database for, like, you know, our internal stuff. You know, because there was like a laundry list of error messages that the modems and routers could give you, and so we had stuff that we could look up for that.
This just became Tales from Tech Support, the stream.
Hey,
What?
it's not dirty anymore.
That's true.
It's quite the opposite. It's very clean and dry.
Very much so. Let's see. Raunchy or boring? Make your choice.
Well,
There's no in between.
Sorry, vulgar. It wasn't really raunchy, more vulgar.
Well, I can make it vulgar and tell you some of the obscenities that I was called at work.
I can do without that.
You can imagine.
You just gotta love it when people are so stupid that they take out their anger at being so stupid on the tech support guy. Like, it's your fault, obviously, that I can't figure out how to use a fucking computer.
Well, what was even funnier is, like, some of the things that I was called wasn't because it's still technically an insult, but they weren't angry, they were just being horribly offensive.
That's even better.
It is,
No, it's okay. That's just Grandma. She's incredibly racist.
Kinda. That's like the like I think I told this one before, but it was the back when we were taking more residential calls before we switched to the our business only customers, and she.
And I'm just imagining this thing. He's got this like really old man, like a 90-year-old man, like really infirm, like really frail, in a wheelchair, and he's just saying like these horribly racist things. And you have this guy like this really isn't okay. He's saying some pretty awful stuff, and it's just like, oh no, that's just Grandpa. No, I mean he's putting on. Like, look what he's wearing.
Well, I kind of had something like that with a restaurant owner that I was
Father
talking
Jack
to.
from Father Ted. I mean, he's just the old, crotchety old guy who only ever says feck, arse, and girls. And drink.
I never did see Ted, so I don't know what you're talking about.
Really? Does this guy just bullshit you somewhere else every time you try to...
Yep. He's about...
What an
He's
asshole.
master of the chaotic attack.
Dragonfly Bunny Spirits. Clearly the best team name ever.
It's actually really kind of tradition that, you know, in a Platinum game, that there's a level that just reuses a whole bunch of assets. So they can have more game without having to make more work for themselves.
Yes.
And it's
Which is
usually
a fair way of doing it.
But yeah, totally amiable guy that I was talking to, cooperative and all that stuff, and ended up small talking with him, and he said, where are you from, man? And I was like, oh, I'm from around here, and I looked at his address. I was like, yeah, actually, you live a couple blocks away from where I live, and he's like, really? Because I get that all the time. I was like, you don't sound like you're from Georgia or nothing like that, you know, to lay the accent on thick. But I get that all the time, but usually it doesn't get this bad. Whereas I was like, yeah, my family's from here, and you know, my mom's side's from Texas, and you know, they're from Mexico and everything, and there's like this long beat, and I thought I had lost him from the call. I was like, sir, is everything okay? He's like, oh, so that makes you a white blank.
You're like, oh, wow.
Oh,
Thanks for
what?
that.
I'm not gonna.
Racism.
Yeah.
Makes everything better.
Okay. You know that time that that thing in Game Grumps where every time Barry censors Jontron with the horns.
Yeah.
That
I thought
one.
John, no. No,
Yeah,
John.
that one. And I'm sitting there, and a couple thoughts go through my head. One, I didn't even know that was an actual insult. But apparently it was, and it was a one that was used against my mom, actually, quite repeatedly. And also, this is near the end of the call, and I didn't want to screw it up, so I just went, yeah, I guess it does, anyway.
It's like, sure, why not?
And the funniest part about it was, one of my bosses was listening in on the call during a training class, because what they can do for training courses is they can listen to like live calls, and so he was listening to my call, and then it gets to that part, and apparently his whole class went like, because they were just like, oh, he's gonna get mad, and then it just led to raucous laughter.
Yeah, okay.
It's like, wow, you actually handled that way better than I thought you were going to. I was like, yeah, thank you for not having faith in me.
It's not that I didn't have faith in you, it's, oh, no, that was exactly what it was.
It's exactly that.
I mean, to be fair, I don't blame him. The only reason I held it together was because I wasn't even entirely certain that was the thing.
Makes sense.
What a piece of shit.
And then I told my mother about it. It's like, yeah, that was really offensive. Why didn't you say anything? I was like, because I didn't want to get fired.
That's fair.
So you tend to put up with a lot of crap whenever you want to keep your job, even if it's not worth it.
Oh, yeah.
More spiritual bullshit.
I love how you stopped even following the rules, you're just, like, punching them now.
Yeah, basically. Well, I mean, they started. There's a line
They
Korra
started,
has
yeah.
that's like, they're not following the rules, and the old guy just laughs.
And the old guy's like, and?
Your point.
Have you been listening to my whole spiel? My whole shtick?
Have you
What
been
is
paying
his whole
attention?
shtick? He just likes to make chaos.
Yeah.
Have you been listening to my walking stick this whole time? I'm not actually the bad guy. It's the stick pulling me.
And bullshit again.
So,
Oh boy.
Now you're all spirity.
And more robots. Oh, this is the part that you were talking.
yep.
Oh, this is as glorious as I
We've
thought it was.
reached
Going to
Korrazilla.
Yep.
if only we. Jeez, where's Dredd when we need him? Because he actually does have the Godzilla sound effect on his soundboard.
You can't use any of your bending, you're just a big monster.
Yeah.
You
Although
don't
one
need
thing we
when
don't
you're
really
that
tell you
big.
is that you do have a ground pound that's really effective. But
You have the Iron Man ground pound. Or Iron Woman in this case, I guess.
yeah.
Fuck this truck in particular.
So what? Like, Recon? I think her name is.
Wait, what?
Oh, the female version of Iron Man.
Oh,
Isn't
No
that
version of
powerful?
Iron Man?
Yeah. I'm pretty
Yeah,
sure
yeah.
her name's Recon.
Huh.
And her suit is pink.
Okay,
Of course it is.
nice.
Oh, okay. Now I have to look this up because I'm not one. I wasn't.
Obscure comic facts.
I like Iron Man a lot, but I don't even know that one.
But I might be wrong. It's something. There is a female Iron Man who has a pink suit.
Well, I mean, there's.
And is basically built. The suit's entirely built for like stealth stuff.
Oh boy, a pink suit for stealth. What a genius design.
That's
Well,
like
I can
having
tell you-
an orange jumpsuit for a ninja.
Too much pink energy is dangerous.
Chaos Ferret says he's not the real bad guy, it's actually his talking hunch.
I believe it.
It's like, okay, now I'm gonna punch this. Oh, damn it! Why are you fighting Heartless?
They're spirits.
That's what
Spirits.
it's what it keeps. It's what it keeps reminding me of. Like I
Oh
didn't
yeah,
like
yeah,
Kingdom
no, I
Hearts all
trust
that
me, I
much.
get that too.
I'm not even a fan of Kingdom Hearts. Like, I've played part of the second game. And that's it.
I played the first two. I don't feel like I became a lesser person by playing it or anything. Just
No, I don't think the series is horrible. I've just never been into it. And I find the series, like, well, because of the number of, like, spin-off things and in-between games while waiting for
yeah.
Kingdom Hearts 3,
Yeah,
the
it's a
storyline
weird
of the game
scheme.
is just muddled and confusing.
Well,
Yeah,
to be fair, it's not even the fault of the fact that they're between games that it's muddled and confusing. It's just become a weird plot.
it became a cluster crash.
Which, you know, I'm invested in. On myself, I'm invested enough in, you know, the series that I want to see how this weird plot ends. But I'm still like, yeah, we're all kind of like, yeah, this got weird. Nomura, what's going on?
that escalated not so quickly.
That didn't so much escalate as it did kind of slant ways.
I mean, and the most of the parts I played of number 2 was the very intro, which people constantly complain about how long and boring it is.
Oh yeah, the intro of KH2. Yeah. Oh,
Where
my
you
goodness.
play as Roxas and do nothing.
But which, to be fair, they're totally right. But although I laughed my ass off. Like, okay, oh now we're back to that part in the beginning. We've come full circle. Leeches.
Good grief.
Korra, remember,
I love how there's not even a HUD anymore. It's just
there is no light or dark, no good or evil,
This-
no human or spirit.
horrible cluster luck of getting your ass kicked. Why aren't you helping me?
Where's the HUD?
Yeah, that's
The division between
This
you
is kind
and
of a
your enemies
cinematic
is an
sequence.
illusion. All are
A big
one.
old fustercluck.
If you could actually hear what this girl was saying, then, you know.
well, I mute the stream so I don't
There is no
echo
light or dark.
constantly while I'm talking.
Well, yeah, but I'm saying if you could. She's kind of in a monologue.
Let go.
Just let go. All is one.
Okay, get her. She's monologuing.
Don't you understand, Korra?
That's the optimal time to get someone, and yet nobody seems to notice this.
I deeply apologize. It is not recon, it is rescue. And yes, that took me far too long to figure out.
Okay, no, that's fair enough. Because I was like, because I remember like Pepper Potts actually puts on the Iron Man costume a couple of times, and and so does Rhodey. Oh, come on, really?
Well, Rhodey is also War Machine though, so.
It's I'm saying he specifically puts on Iron Man's actual
Like the proper
main
Iron Man.
Well,
suit.
yeah, I believe there's a whole arc where he becomes the new Iron Man while Tony Stark is dealing with his alcoholism, or something like that.
Well, you're gonna have to be more specific because that plot line kicks up a couple of times. To the point where it's a running gag on a top of the fourth wall, where every time Iron Man is narrated, it's always in a sloshed, drunken voice.
Iron Brew Man.
Iron Liver Man, more like it.
You don't have to have an iron liver to be an alcoholic.
No, but you have to have an iron liver to be an alcoholic, survive, and still be a genius.
Yes, that is true. And now for more spiritual bullshit.
And here, I, the final boss, shall create an arena for our battle.
Pretty much.
Because reasons.
Because shut up, it looks cool.
Yes, basically. It's kind of the motto of this game.
Sounds like the motto of a lot of games.
Which is
Hey, as long as it's entertaining, I'm fine with it.
Like, how can Sephiroth wield a sword that hilariously large? Because shut up, it looks cool.
No,
Pretty
no. Bigger question: how can he fly with one?
Because magic.
Awkwardly.
I know the explanation is magic, but I don't care. You should be corkscrewing through the air.
No, it's
You
okay.
could only turn left.
And doesn't Cloud do the same thing in Kingdom Hearts as well, where he gets a wing, like the opposite wing
He
or
ever gets a
something?
wing.
Who never
I-
gets
Everybody gets a wing.
Everyone gets a keyblade, but I don't remember everyone getting a wing.
Yeah, the key.
Either one.
You
But no,
get a
seriously,
keyblade.
everyone got a
You
keyblade
get a
by the end
keyblade.
of that game. Like, what the hell?
Except
Also,
for-
spoil-
Gets a keyblade.
Except for Jack Sparrow, who gets fucked in that. So here, give me a keyblade. Okay. No, belongs to me.
Well, dude, I tried.
Give me your keyblade. All right.